Well, hey everyone, my name is Imdadul Rahman, and in this video, I will be sharing with you all my latest Flutter project, which is Amazon Music Clone. And in this project, I have used Firebase to implement open authentication via Google Sign-in, and I have also used some interesting packages such as Provider for state management and Get for creating singleton and Audio Player for implementing audio playback functionality. But these are not just the packages which I have used. There are more packages which I have used, but let's now focus on to the features that I have implemented into the application. So let's move on to our VS Code so that we could go through the each features that I have implemented. So let's move on to our Visual Studio. So the very first feature that I would like to mention here is that as soon as you start the application, we will be presented with an animation that displays Amazon Music logo. So once the splash screen animation loads, you will see that we are presented with a login page. And if you are already signed up on the application, then you could enter your credential here to log in. And if you're not, then you can just tap on the register now button and then provide your details and sign up on the application, right? Since I'm already logged into the application, I will be providing my credential to move on to the next screen. So let me enter my details. Right, so once you enter your credential, you will be welcomed with the home screen, right? And on the home screen, you could see that there are some suggestions based on trending artist, our trending song section, some featured movies as well. So this is our home page, and every time you start the application, the songs in trending section will be different. I have implemented a different approach to show different suggestion each time the application loads. And right now you could see that it is showing that nothing is playing. It is basically possible due to provider, as provider helps us to manage the state of an application, and provider is not just the only packages to maintain state in Flutter application, and there are all a lot of packages which you could use for maintaining state. But for this project I have used provider, right? So next up we have some animation. Like if you tap on any section which is in the trending section, you could see that it will start playing the current song which you tap, and then it will load or extend the mini player which is showing right nothing is playing. But if you tap on a particular song, it will extend the mini player into main player. And if I tap on this song right here, so yes, as you could see that the mini player pops into a main player, right? And if you swipe down on it, it will basically turn into a mini player, and you could see the home screen again, and you could play some song again on the trending song section. And yes, so if you tap on it, it will be extended into a main player. But if you swipe down on it, it will be switch to mini player. And then the next feature I would like to mention here is that you could favorite or unfavorite your song which is currently playing, and it will be favorite or unfavorite. And there is also the playback functionality to skip or to the next song or to the previous song. And there's also loop, you could also loop through your songs. And then there's an up next song which will be in the list. And the next up we have is the theming functionality. We have also implemented theming functionality in our application. If you could go to the library page, and then there will you see a switch theme slider. If you tap on the slider, it will basically switch the theme from light theme to dark theme, right? By default our application starts in light theme, but if you want to change the theme as per your liking, you could go to the library page and change the theme from light theme to dark theme. So yes, we have also taken care of implementing theming in our application. Next we have Alexa. Alexa is not implemented yet right now, but it will be in soon, right? And so next feature that we are going to discuss is the search functionality in our application. If you could go to the find page, you will see that there's some suggestion based on mood and activities, and also on genre based suggestion. And there are some suggestions such as party, travel, workout, Bollywood or Hollywood. And if you tap on a certain activity or mood or genre, it will load up the specific relevant song. But if you like need to search for specific artist or song collection, then you could just type it into the search bar. For right now, if you see, if I search for Diljit, it will, yes, it will load all the songs related to the particular artist. And you could also search by like name, yeah, and it will load the specific song. Yes, it also search by specific song. So yes, our search mechanism is working absolutely fine. And then next thing or the next feature I would like to show you is that podcast. I have also implemented a functionality to fetch podcast and play them. And if you go to your main screen, and you will see that there's a podcast tab, and if you tap on it, it will load some trending podcast. And you could see there it have loaded some podcast that talks on purpose, right? So it basically loads up some trending podcast, and if you tap on any particular podcast, it will load the certain podcast whole playlist. So for our example, I'm tapping on the TED Talks, and yes, as you could see, it has loaded the whole podcast list, and you could see some additional details such as when the podcast was published and also their duration. Yes. So let us like play a shorter one so that it loads quickly, and we could also see in action. Yes, I'm going to play this one. So it is loading right now, and once it loads up, it will start playing. Yes, it has started playing. So yes, the podcast functionality in our application is also working. And again, I'm using iTunes API to fetch podcast, but the mechanism that have come or like implemented is quite difficult to implement it, but somehow I have managed to implement the functionality to play podcast. Well, these were the some features that I have implemented in this application, such as login, sign up, searching songs, theming, state management. And apart from that, I would also like to mention that I have followed or implemented a clean architecture for this application so that anyone wanting to try this project on their own could easily understand the code. And the clean architecture also makes the code organized and could be understood by anyone. And I would also like to mention that I will be sharing the GitHub link to the project in the captions so anyone could try this application on their own machine. Well, that was it for the video, and if you happen to have some suggestion or like the video, then please let me know by liking the video. And if you have any suggestion or feature you would like to see to be implemented in this application, then please let me know so that I could progress with the application or the project. Well, that was it for the video. We'll meet you again with some new projects.